What's up, Dodger fans? I'm Ryan here with my brother Matthew, and I'm here with another series recap talking about the Dodgers' first series loss of the season against the Philadelphia Phillies, losing 2 games to 1 in a 3 game set over the weekend. We had a couple nationally televised games, or one nationally televised game and one game on Apple TV, so a lot of people watch it, I'm sure. But I think this was the first real litmus test against the biggest competition in the National League, and I promise I'm not some guy that sees a game in April and is like, okay, this is playoff defining stuff. But it's always nice to see big time matchups, and some players really showed out. Some players, as we'll get into later, really didn't, and ultimately it ended up with a 2-1 series loss, 2 1-run games that we lost. So Matt, what are your thoughts coming off of this series?
Yeah, I think it was frustrating in a way that they should have probably swept it. The first game was a clear pitchers duel. Yoshi Yamamoto is really one of the best pitchers in baseball. We'll get into that later. And he shoved. He had a great outing, but we still didn't end up getting up to win because Lazardo went 7 innings shutty, just giving up 2 hits and 8 Ks, which is the Dodgers are supposed to be an historically great team. They're missing one of their top three hitters on the team. That still should not happen. 7 innings, 2 hits is unacceptable for as talented as this lineup is. So that was personally very frustrating for me. But pitchers duel, Tommy Edman gets some runs in the ninth. Kirby Yates gives up some runs. It's that game. I think you could shrug it off. We weren't going to start off 10-0. That's pretty, or 9-0 at that point. It's pretty tough. If you're 8-1, you could still get series win. Move on to the next game, which was a pretty fitting game for all you. I feel like this year it's either been low scoring games where the pitching dominates or we come from behind win. This was that low scoring type game. Roki Sasaki had his best outing yet, and yeah, they put up just enough runs. They went 3-1, and then the rubber match. The feeling it was had the feeling of like we were gonna win the series, and then starts raining. Tyler Glass now has the worst inning of his career. Grand Slam 6-2, and then the Dodgers come back. It's feeling like okay, these Dodgers again. We're gonna be 10-1. Yet another game where we come back and win. And then Blake Trinan gives up 2 runs. Dodgers lose 8-7. And like you said, it was the two losses, only two losses this season were both by 1 run, and you could just look at it and see why you lost. The first game, you got shut out by a starting pitcher. It happens. In this game, you walked 4 batters an inning, ended up in 6 runs, and that's why you lost. Again, Trinan and Yates giving up runs against a really good lineup throughout 162. That's going to happen. So that's what it is. But moving on to the starting pitching, um, what I'm going to say, I like to do a pitcher of the series. Pitcher of the series is very clearly Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He's been the pitcher of the season so far for me. Again, his ERA is down to 1.69. Added another 5 Ks. He's just incredible. But we already know that. I'm not going to spend time on him. I want to spend my time on Roki Sasaki
Hmm.
because he had his best outing yet, and he went 4 innings, gave up 3 hits, just 1 run. Started off really slow, then got out of it, and I was really proud of him because of the talk around him. You got washed big leaguers like Eric Hosmer saying you can't cry on a big leaguer, just that dumb BS, and then you got the really the guy was really into baseball saying I don't like the shape of his fastball, I don't like this. After he's thrown like at that point it was literally like 3 innings in MLB, and so we're judging a 23-year-old rookie making his first 3 starts, and my problem was like he had not yet thrown strikes yet. So why are you talking about the shape of his fastball like he was getting lit up? He wasn't getting lit up. He wasn't getting hit at all. He was throwing balls, so we don't know how the fastball played. But in this game, when he did have just a little bit of fastball command, you saw how great the splitter was, and that's the baseline for Sasaki. He's really young. He's going to continue to get better and better. But even at this stage in his career, he has that amazing outpitch in the splitter. He got a K on the slider. I think this is kind of the basis, and he'll just continue to grow off this. The fastball velo is up a little bit. I think as long as he can look at the fastball and he can throw the splitter off of that, he's going to rack up a lot of Ks. It's just going to come down to the control. So I really like what I saw from him. And then Glass now, I mean, you saw he was very frustrated. It is really tough to pitch in the rain. And like I'm not worried about Glass now. I'm not going to sit here and be like, okay, is there a problem with Tyler Glass now? I think he looked incredible in the first 2 innings. It's raining. He walks 4 batters. I think that's that. I don't want to make excuses, but I'm not gonna freak out. So that's my feeling on that. What do you think about again? Yamamoto was the best, but the most encouraging for me was Sasaki. So, what do you feel about the pitching against probably maybe the best lineup in the MLB except us?
Yeah, I think that's something that Dodger fans can lose sight of early in the season, especially when you're feeling, or just in general. Fans are always emotional, as we are as well. Phillies are an incredible team. They're really, really good, and it's just like these series are gonna happen. As for the pitching, I love what you said about Roki. He he mentioned in his post game interviews that he was feeling way more confident just today, and I feel like you could see that he wasn't as accurate as you would hope, still, but it was really night and day from his home opener. So I'll let what you say stand on him. I want to give a shout out to Jack Dreyer and Ben Kasparius, our two rookies in the bullpen. They're really good. Kasparius is it's he's officially a rookie, but he literally had multiple outings in the World Series, so it's a different type of being a rookie. But they've just looked like all season they've been legitimate parts of the bullpen. Ben Kasparius, excuse me, came into a game 6th and 7th innings, actual leverage innings. He pitched them just completely scoreless. No one even got on base. I don't think. And a national TV like Fox game in Philadelphia, like he's just like he projected as a starter, and I don't think they want to lose him as a starting arm. But he's an actual weapon in the bullpen, and that's something I don't think we were expecting. So I just want to shout out the rookies. As for Glass now, the rain sucked. He spiraled more than I've seen a pitcher spiral in the rain. So I don't know, I don't know what that's about. But obviously I trust it. Like this, honestly, today's game kind of doesn't really mean anything to me. I'm sorry, we're recording this on the Sunday loss to officially end the series. That's why I said today's game. It was very frustrating because they did actually come back to take the lead post rain, post everything. And then, if you don't mind me transitioning, that I'll get into position player slash hitter of the series. We don't like doing negative stuff, but it actually correlates or coincides, excuse me, with the Blake Trinan giving up a run too. Andy Ba has had one of the more brutal series that you'll see in a 3 game slate, and I don't really know what to do with him. I'll toss that to you before you get officially into like the positive sides of hitting. Andy Ba has Matt, like, what do we do with him?
I genuinely think you just send him down because it's really bad. He's hitting 118, but like that's not being a bad hitter is one thing. Being a bad base runner, being a bad fielder is a whole nother thing. And again, not that I'm like fully out on him. He's young, but the point is that he's young. He can if he goes down to triple, I guarantee his OPS over 900. So I think
Yeah.
you just send him down. I mean, not as we speak. I think eventually his path will end up down in AAA, so he can improve. His bat will be better. Some kind of like how Vargas came up, struggled a lot. I mean, it's different for Paz because he was like a World Series player, but this is brutal what we're seeing. I mean, yeah, again, not technically an error, but I mean
It
that
was
ball could have
insane.
been caught. I mean, yeah, forget catching and not catching. Like I haven't seen a like that bad of a play on a fly ball in quite some time to see the direction, and it hurts me because I was actually an outfielder myself, and so yeah, I mean, straight into slump watch because we're talking about his fielding, but like I said, the hitting is 118. Muncy, I Muncy had some good at bats, but the total, like he had a better series, but the total in terms of who's not hot, he's still hitting 176.
Yeah.
Kike had the one home run, but has Kike had a hit that's not a home run?
No, he literally has
I
not.
don't I don't think he has. So Kike, and that's the thing that was the bottom lineup in today's game, the loss, the 8-7 loss.
Hmm.
Muncie saying 176, Kike 108, 103, and then Pius 118. The 6 guys above that, the lowest OPS is 852 with Tommy Edman. So I
Yeah.
think right now the lineup is divided right there. The front 6, like Will Smith is on fire. And so the top 6, we're getting because Freeman's out right now. And those bottom 3 really need to pick it up. But a sneaky one I'll throw on you for who's not hot. Shohei Ohtani has not looked great, in my opinion. And recently, he started off pretty good. I don't think he had a great series, so I know you're not worried about him, but do you think we're headed towards an Otani kind of slump? I mean, his slumps are like not slumps where they're like more than 15 games.
Hmm.
Where you think we're in an Otani rut? I mean, if you remember, he actually started last year in a rut. So, where you feel about with Otani?
Yeah, I mean, I guess objectively he is by his standards. Like you said, 0% worry. I was actually going to bring it up before you said his name just as like a kind of half joke, half serious because he did hurt like his at bats hurt the team this series, especially as a leadoff hitter. Like I feel like the approach kind of has to change. Let me not say that at all. I don't want him to change anything. But like thinking about what we need considering the bottom of the lineup is so bad right now. I don't know like if a more boomer bust type result that he's getting right now is what's really necessary, but also things are going to work itself out. So yeah, like you said, no worry, but it is interesting because if our leadoff hitter is struggling to get on base, it's just not like good. But I don't think that I'm not calling for lineup changes, not calling for anything. It's something to monitor, especially as we get into the next couple series.
Yeah, on the series, he's 1 for 9, 2 walks, and 5K. So definitely on the who's not hot portion for this series, Shohei Ohtani. But of course, we know he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Someone who was, you know, on the we kind of brought him up for the last series. Had a massive day today. Teoscar Hernandez.
Hmm.
What was he ended up with? Yeah, 3 hits, 5 RBIs, 7 runs. 5 of those came from Teoscar Hernandez. So he's back on it. But the best hitter right now really has been Will Smith. So what do you? My question, Conforto. Want to give him love? You can give love to whoever you want. I'll shout out Conforto. Shout out Edmund, of course. Will Smith. From what I've seen about Will Smith is he's an incredible hitter. He starts off good every single year. And as a catcher, not him as a player, but the position he plays, it's really demanding. So the second half of the year, he kind of not falls off, but the numbers kind of fall off a little. Or yeah, they do fall off.
Yeah.
I'll just say it. They get worse over time. And last year really wasn't a great year for his standards. Do you think this is like the all-star catcher Will Smith who could put up an 830 OPS, or you think it's same old kind of hot start and then the stats will kind of decrease at the end of the season? Because this is as locked in as I've ever seen him, to be honest.
Yeah. I obviously we all hope he could keep it consistent. It's really difficult for catchers to like even not even just within the year, but just year to year to be able to keep up a level of what would be considered elite offensive production for the position. You just don't really see that happening that much. That's why teams opt for like Austin Hedges, like he's been playing for 15 years or whatever, but despite being one of the worst hitters to ever live, because they're like, you know what, we're not going to get a lot of production from this position anyway. So let's lean into defense. Will Smith is actually very elite by certain metrics as a defender, and we see what he can do offensively. So before I officially give my little prognostication, I would just say most teams like the Dodgers of all the young players they had, the guys they brought up through their system, he's the only one they extended. I think it's because they know that regardless of his late season potential for late season struggles, you take that from a catcher every single day. Now to the answer, I think the Dodgers may have realized that he needs like he's like not may have they've seen him kind of fall off. I'm assuming just energy, whatever. Like the production's down, so we've had 2 Austin Barn games already. And granted, it's always day game after night game. That's how catching works. And they had a night game going into an earlier Fox game from Friday to Saturday, so I can see why that happened. But I'm interested to see if we're going to see more Will Smith off days early in the season, because to Dodgers' credit, Austin Barnes did not play a lot at all down the stretch last year, and he did not play in one. I mean, he wasn't going to start any playoff games, but it wasn't even like a consideration. I did Austin Barnes have an at bat last playoffs? I genuinely don't know.
I really don't know.
I don't
Because
know
look
if
at the
he
role
ever
he
took
played
off
in
his
2020
warning.
a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I think they might be trying to ease him into the season a little more. And frankly, it would be a great time to have an elite hitting backup catcher as a prospect, which is something actually I want to talk about a little later in the show. But yeah, I'm very hopeful that this is fully elite Will Smith. His approach, like he's taking so many more walks compared to, at least from what I remember. I got to look up the actual stats to back up my opinion, but it feels a little different. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, so I mean, who's hot? The same old Boogie Betts. Gotta say his name. He had a pretty good series actually. Kind of under the radar. He had 4 hits.
Yeah,
He's been incredible so far. And of course, Teoscar had the best game of the season. Will Smith's been the hottest so far, and then who's not? We already know it's the same guys. It's Muncy, it's Kike, it's Bias. What I'll say about the bottom of the lineup, I think it's fine because Freeman's out. Freeman comes back in, and Kike's not your everyday first baseman, so
yeah,
it's a little bit unfair to him. He can go back to hitting only against lefties. Muncy is someone who will be better. Bias, we don't know if he's going to be good or not. Muncy, we do know he'll eventually be good because he's never been bad except for that 1 year coming straight off of that arm surgery. So bottom lineup will be fine. Not to mention you do have guys in AAA. You got Hyesung Kim who hopefully can be that guy and come up play second base. So I'm really not worried about the bottom of the lineup. So yeah, I mean the offense wasn't great, but really over the whole season the offense hasn't been great. But you look at the numbers, like it just individually, like I said, that front six is amazing. So yeah, not worried about the lineup. We talked about who's hot, who's not. I wanted to visit the Momentum Meeting, which if this is your first time watching, welcome. We kind of tap in with a meter we made for ourselves with 4 different categories of where we are after each series. The first one is struggling with a division, uncertain if we even win the division. The second one is we feel confident we're one of the 3 to 5 best teams in the MLB. The third tier is we feel confident we are the best team in the MLB. We've separated from every single other team. It's them, and then it's us. And then the last one, if we want to get really cocky, it's we are one of the best teams ever. We're on a historic pace. So this was what this is technically this is the fourth series
fourth,
because of
yeah.
the two in Japan. First series lost against again probably the second best team in the NL from what I've seen so far. Where do you think we're at on the momentum meter?
Yeah, I'm giving us a 3 out of 4. Still feeling very confident that this is the best team in baseball. I think, frankly, Philly fans are probably still confident that the Dodgers are the best team in baseball. Confident is probably not the right word. Bitter about it is probably a better way to describe it. Um, if you wanted to be like a real sports radio takey guy, you could say this is the first real test the Dodgers failed or whatever. But there were so many self-inflicted errors. Like we got caught stealing twice on like normal steals, and then in the first game, and Andy Baez got picked off. Would like so like 3 base running errors, 2 back to back in the eighth and ninth in the first game. Second game generally clean, and they won. Third game, but we don't have to go back through the a million walks through the rain, and then Pages not knowing how to read a ball off the bat. So not trying to be like excuses for why they're losing in April. They're gonna lose series. It's gonna happen. But just like looking at the way they lost makes it more frustrating because it's not like the Dodgers were dominated. The Phillies, give them credit, took advantage of every single mistake like immediately because they're a good team. That's what happens. But yeah, there's the only reason I'm still not on this as a historic team is because I don't know if they're still on a historic pace. I know like theoretically they are, but we got to see how that keeps going on.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely a three. I got like because of the fact that we played. Genuinely, I probably think the Phillies are the second best team in the league. Just because their star rotation's amazing, their lineup's amazing.
Yeah.
And the fact that like we lost two and both of them were like, oh wow, like you said, don't get caught stealing. Baez catch a fly ball, like it. You could clearly see, and the fact we're missing Freddie Freeman. I mean, not for nothing. Like he's
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
best players in the world. Which I mean, it feels fine watching us play without him because the team is so deep. But it's obviously you watch that series, you know the Dodgers best team, so they don't feel confident they're the best team in the league. But yeah, not on the historic pace because this series did show me that they're vulnerable, that they are going to make those mistakes. The injuries are going to happen. I guess we should bring up Snell.
Yeah.
Transfer to the 15-day IL. So I think blow up innings are going to happen. The reason it's so hard to be historically great is because injuries are going to happen. Rain's going to happen. You're going to have those blow up innings. So baseball's going to happen, and baseball happened in the series. But yeah, now to end each show, take a look at the NL West and the standings. The Dodgers are actually not first anymore. It's our old friends, the San Francisco Giants, who are at 8-1. They swept the Seattle Mariners. Dodgers, as you know, lost to the Phillies 1-2. Padres also lost the series 1-2. They lost to who was it? The Cubs,
Yeah, the
who
Cubs.
we swept, and then the Diamondbacks fall to 5-5, who a lot of people, including us, were high, but they lose to the Nationals, who the Dodgers are obviously going to come to next.
Interesting.
They lost 1-2. So three of that core four. I mean, if you really want to know about the Rockies, where did they do? I'm sure they lost the series.
Yeah.
I mean, it really doesn't matter. But of the
Yeah.
core four, three of them actually lost 1-2. Diamondbacks, Padres, and the Dodgers. So Giants are the talk of the town right now. They're 8-1, which is a phenomenal record. They sweep the Mariners, which it's the Mariners, but on a scale of 1 to 10, like what level threat to maybe not to win the division, like what just in the NL, like their chances to make the playoffs, what level threat are they in terms of like a playoff threat?
Unfortunately, I'm feeling a very solid 7 or 8. I think we hate the Giants so much that I didn't want to think about them. Um, and I still don't. But like as an objective observer of baseball, their lineup isn't great, but it's not as underwhelming as it's been before. And their pitching staff is actually like should be actually good. They have Logan Webb, who's always there. Robbie Ray and Verlander are old wild cards, but they're not going to be horrible. And then they have some other depth. Like it's a pretty good team. I don't the way I think about it, especially for folks that are new and gonna continue on us with through the season. I look at playoff baseball and like in terms of who can beat who, is that there's to me instead of like ranking 1, 2, 3, 4, I just put teams in tiers. Like no matter how good the Dodgers can go 162-0 in a season and they wouldn't be in a tier by themselves to me, just because playoff baseball you need to, in my opinion, you need to meet a talent threshold that can break through these errors like we just saw in the Dodgers series, or you can not make those errors while being able to capitalize immediately. If you're there, anyone can win a playoff series. I don't know if the Giants are there. Like I would say the Padres, Dodgers, Phillies, even maybe the Braves still, like the Diamondbacks. All of these teams can beat each other in the playoffs. And that's kind of where I'm at like and win multiple series. That's how I evaluate things. I don't know if I'm putting the Giants there. Padres, absolutely, obviously they could be there. I think their slow offseason made us stop us as in like the collective baseball world. I made us stop thinking about the roster, but the roster is still pretty good because it kind of didn't lose a lot of people. Like Tanner Scott obviously is with us, but they didn't. There were threats about Dylan Cease getting traded, but he's here, so like they're good. Diamondbacks are good. They have that talent, like requisite talent level. NL West is just a unbelievable division. Like honestly, that's just what it is.
Yeah, 100% agree. That's what I'm honestly just really excited. The Giants have been kind of dead for a while, and the Padres had all the juice. So everyone hates the Dodgers. And of course our biggest rival's gonna hate us. So I'm just excited to go to Oracle Park, and they have juice,
Yeah,
and they boo us. The beat LA chance. I'm looking forward to that because I know we're better than them, and I know in the end I feel confident in our chances to win the division. Obviously, so yeah, whatever. I don't, not to be cocky because I mean, we saw what they did in 2021.
yeah,
And in the beginning of that year, I was thinking there's no way they're going to continue it up. So whatever happens, happens. But even after losing a series, a frustrating series, I still feel good about the Dodgers, of course, because we're that talented.
yeah, yeah. Being able to keep up a full season of perseverance and talent and execution for a full 162 is tough. And if you don't do it often, it's it's pretty difficult to find that switch randomly. And we know the Dodgers do it literally every year. But yeah, the Giants always have this like little bit of devil magic or something that keeps them powered when they hit these runs. And 2021 team, one of the biggest flukes I've ever seen in my life. I feel very comfortable saying that. But this team is just objectively better than that team. So if they really push the Dodgers deep into the season, I would, at this point now, unfortunately, I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, these every NL West game is going to matter that much more. And in those games, those series, even if they are in April, I that's when I would be like, why are we like? I'll those series we really need to lock into. So I'm super excited, like you said. NOS is going to be a bloodbath. Every game's going to have so much juice. And it's really, really fun. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. This is another series recap. We'll be back the day after every new series. If you're new but you stuck around, feel free to subscribe. We'll be back with some more stuff. Hopefully, going to get some like pitching and at bat breakdowns from us. So we got a lot of stuff planned. Got a lot of stuff coming. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.